You think so? Talk about it, guess. Let's go.
Guess.
Talk your
Samson,
shit.
welcome. We're calling Samson.
The day and age we live in, right, is very not monogamous.
Okay.
So I think that when men get in relationships, they venture out more than women do.
He's starting it off hot.
Is
that your affirmation? No, just kidding.
Yeah, right? Is that your affirmation?
Shy is back. Woo! And
We're
a
back.
lot is different, which is kind of
Holy
cool.
cow, right?
Like, I feel like a real podcast now. I felt like, not in a bad way, but I felt like
No.
when it came before, it was like you were going to school. Like, you sit in a desk and you're going to school.
And it was way more like, oh, we're just having a conversation at the table.
Yeah.
Now,
we had teacher Tati here.
And we had a teacher.
that. And then now it's like, oh shit, we're with the dean. We're in the principal's office.
I feel legit. Shout out season 3. We are back. Thank you guys all so much. I'm Paulina.
I'm Talk with Tati.
I'm Nestor.
And we have a guest here that we're going to get to in a second. I promise you, it's going to be a good episode. I'm actually really excited about this because, like, I've been brainstorming a lot of questions for you all day.
Great.
Yes, you're like, oh boy. And I heard nothing's off limits. So, yay! Yay to no limits. But before we get into that, we're going to start off with our affirmations, kind of a way that we kick off the show. Nestor, I want you to go first because you just look like you want to go first.
What? I do not look like that. I don't think I ever have that look, but
You're
for
so
sure,
ready.
I'll go first. So my affirmation. So lately, okay, so it's been a month since I haven't drank.
Okay.
Which,
you've actually kept
yeah.
up with
So
it.
a lot of people think that I've been drinking, but I haven't. I've been drinking non-alcoholic things or whatever, mocktails and stuff like that. And so it's just giving me a lot of time to like reorganize. So I think kind of that's my affirmation, or that's kind of something that I've been like lately that I've been living by. My friends all like, dude, but you're always tired. She's like, so what's changed? And I'm like, I'm tired because I'm actually doing so much more, you know?
Wow.
I was like when I was not drinking, I was prioritizing my social life like a lot. And I do get a lot of my money, my coin from that,
Yeah.
from socializing. But I really, this time has really given me like a lot of time to reorganize and just to work on projects that I've been wanting to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's kind of like my affirmation, my word that I've been.
I see you on Instagram, like you're like putting shelves up, going to
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, he's really Bob the. Well,
You are
he's
Bob
not.
the Builder.
He's not the one being Bob the Builder, but he's contracting Bob the Builder.
you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
You're managing that.
Yeah, so it's just been, I've been working on a lot of projects. Like even my room, like I've been like, when was your wedding was in October, right?
Yes.
So since then I moved into my new apartment, but my clothes was everywhere for like a whole 2 months. And so like this whole last month, like I've just been working on that. So my room looks great now. And
Yay.
yeah, now I can host.
So proud
I'm just
of
kidding.
you.
Go ahead.
I want us to kind of touch on something he said later when we were talking more specifically with Samson.
Yeah.
When he said like his coin comes from being social. So I kind of want to talk about like how social media plays a role, or maybe doesn't, depending on your job. And like, is it like really you on social media, or is it your persona? I kind of want to touch on that. But anyway, I could do my affirmation next. You're looking at yo, he's gonna kill me, but I don't care. My affirmation is you are not the main character in other people's lives. And you need to realize that.
I love it.
And I need to realize that. That was for me. That was a humbling experience for me.
Yeah.
And so I think, shout out to Fiamma. She's the one who said that.
She said that
She
you?
told me that.
I love when friends check you, like in a good way, you know.
Yo,
not all of a sudden sometimes I'm like a little like on defense.
Fiamma
But sometimes you need
and Jackie together, and then you throw in Alexa.
Does this
I
have
get
to
checked.
do with the dating scene or no?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
Just I think it has to do with like how I am and how I approach situations, and they're kind of like calm the fuck down.
Like your expectations towards
my
people,
expectations, and just like I'm a very like confident person, and like I feel like I bring a lot to the
Like
table,
that?
and so like my expectations are that for other people. But then when I act out of character and I act like a brat, they're like, well, you can't be that bitch and then this bitch, like a brat bitch, you know? So that was my affirmation. And by the way, when you do your affirmation, Samson, can you say your handle on Instagram where people can follow you?
Got you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mine will be really quick, but like basically, just like nourish and water your friendships. So that's like a big one for me because I was talking to my friend and he's like really, really good at doing that. And we had this, like, we went to the mall yesterday, and I'll throw back the mall, but we went to the mall and we're driving there and he was like talking about like something and his friends and something about therapy and how like he basically like really puts a lot into his friendships, right? And we all do that. And he actually reminds me of you a lot, Tatis, in that sense of like, I see that you do cherish your friendships. Like you do nurture them, you water them. And I was like, I had this like epiphany, like this moment of being like, do I suck all of a sudden? Because I'm just like, I used to be, and it goes back to you and, you know, being social, right? And being in a social setting. I used to be out all the time, whether it was, you know, the nightclub scene, whether it was the bars, whatever. And like, I just knew people and I know everybody. And it was like, that's like the old me that I remember. But like in a weird way, that was also like the me that I know being like nurturing and like always like there for people. And I don't know if it's like pandemic life, then getting into a serious relationship, then getting married. I'm just like, I feel like I don't do a good job anymore. You know what I mean? And it's just like, to me, I was like kind of like talking to my friend about it. And he's like, always every weekend, he puts it in the calendar. Oh, I have dinner with, you know, I don't know, making up Sarah, right? And the next weekend I have dinner with, you know, Joe, whatever. And it's just like, I give him shit and I was like, well, you got a lot of time on your hands. But then I was thinking like, but if you really want to do something, you will make the time to do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that kind of like had me thinking, I was like, I want to go back to that of nourishing my friendships, my relationships. I'm not saying I'm going to see these people every weekend, but I love the idea of you know, making time for people that I care about. Yeah. So I kind of want to get back on that train.
Yeah, make time for us.
I do want to make time for you guys.
But I also think people who are really your people and your friends, like, they have to respect and understand you just got married, you're having a baby.
I was going to say that you're readjusting to like different things in your life.
For sure.
But I understand what you're saying. You still want to make that.
I want to make that a priority. I don't want to like lose that either. Like, you know what I mean? Just because of marriage or baby and stuff. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, I am fighting the fucking stigma every day of like what it means to be like a mother I'm not mom yet, but like a mother slash wife.
You are.
Because I'm just like, I don't want to be like, oh, she's a mom, she doesn't want to go out. Like, no, this mom wants to go out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I hate that like so many women get stigmatized. Like the father doesn't. Like no one will say anything to Javi. Like, oh, he's a dad, he can't go out tonight. Like no one's thinking that. But like when they look at me, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm so scared of that day.
I do feel like it happens to men when they're in a relationship. Because then they're like, oh, he got a girl now. He can't go out.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I think in that sense, I can't get over how Nestor still like grabs the mic. Like he's still here.
Because I'm trying to pay attention to you and at the same time I'm trying to.
It's just funny how we're chilling, but then there's Nestor just Anyway, I feel like
sexual.
with men, well, I feel like with men, it's more like when you get a partner. It's like, oh, you like, on lockdown. And then with women, it's when you get pregnant, I guess.
Right.
Have kids.
I know. So I'm just like, every day I'm like fighting the good fight over here.
I think it might be the other way around, but
you think so? Talk about it, guess. Let's go.
Yes.
Talk your
Samson.
shit.
Welcome. We're calling Samson.
yeah, it's fine.
Okay, Samson.
The day and age we live in, right, is very not monogamous.
Okay.
So I think that when men get in relationships, they venture out more than women do.
He's starting it off hot.
So is that your affirmation? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right? Is that your affirmation?
But you know what's crazy is that I think, I mean, we're going to get into your story and like of your background and everything, and like we're going to talk a lot with you. But I think you saying that is probably some fucking truth to it.
Yo.
Because you've seen it. You've seen every, weekend, weekday?
I've seen a lot of things.
You've seen a lot of things.
Yes.
So like, why do you think that is then? You know, as far as like,
I mean, everybody's story is different. Everybody goes through different things. So, like, being in the nightlife, it's not so much as, like, just partying. People release there, you know? People relieve stress. They go to, like, get away sometimes. So
from their partner.
I don't say typically their partner, but whatever it may be.
Whatever's going on.
And then whatever moments of weakness that happen there lead to
Paulina, you said that. No, just kidding.
I mean, he's kind of insinuating it without saying
Right.
No, I mean, he's not insinuating anything. He's keeping it general, I think.
I have so many questions for you, but I want to really quick dive into first your affirmation.
Yeah.
But before we do that, Tati, will you introduce our guest today? Our first guest of the season and our new set.
Shout out. First of all, he won our giveaway.
Yes.
So congrats.
You a real one.
So yeah, part of the giveaway was you got to be the first host. Hello. You got to be the first guest host. That was part of the giveaway. No, but we go back. This is one of my like best friends. Yeah. We go way back. It's I'm not even gonna say the story about how we became close and became
It made me
friends.
a little nervous.
But I'm not gonna say the story. But if you know, you know. Like it's just a funny story.
Okay.
It's a very ironic story.
I want to laugh.
I mean, essentially,
We want the tea.
people thought we were hooking up.
Yeah, we brought
really?
we brought love together.
Thought?
No, people thought. Yeah,
Okay.
no. People thought we were hooking up.
So-
And then we just became like really great friends.
Oh, I love that.
And like our relationship has blossomed. Like he's one of my best friends.
Because she's a Leo, I'm a Gemini, so that's how it
You're a
works.
Gemini.
Yo,
When's your birthday?
that's the problem.
I don't get these.
But this is why we butt heads a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think there's no other guy I butt heads the most with than him. So that's why
Really?
this is interesting.
What?
That we're dude, we do all the time. Not
Ding,
so
ding, ding.
not so much lately though, because I think
I was just kidding.
he's a little different now. But
Yeah?
but
Oh.
for a while we did. But anyway,
Yeah.
he is our guest host. And I'll let you kind of talk about like your story and what you do. But today's topic is gonna be kind of around like the Chicago nightlife, and Samson has a lot of experience in that realm, and so we feel like he would be a great person to talk more about it and like kind of knock down some myths or ideologies we think about the nightlife, or confirm some stuff. Like he just dropped some bombs. So yeah, what's your affirmation?
Okay, Instagram handle, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
that's
So
yeah.
Instagram handle is samson.vs, SAMSON
We love it.
.vs.
Okay.
If you don't see any pictures uploaded, I'm going through like a reorg and restructure, so we'll get into that later too.
Rebrand.
We're rebranding.
Hello.
That's good.
You gotta build yourself in the nightlife, you know?
Fact.
I guess my affirmation would be find your aha moment.
Find
Right.
what?
So find your aha moment.
Okay.
So I'm a person
Like that.
that like I like when things make sense, you know? I like it when it clicks. So find your aha moment. So every day, every week, every month, every year, find that aha moment when something clicks, when you understand something. I get it. Make like clicks.
So I'm gonna ask, when
So
was
it's
your
a
last
moment now.
aha moment?
My last aha moment
Yeah.
was on my way over here.
Okay.
I was on the phone with one of my best friends, Malaya, and she's like my other tati. And,
there is no other Tati, but she's her. I mean, yeah.
and I was telling her I was coming to this podcast, and we have we have great conversations.
Yes.
Me and her have awesome conversations as well. And she was like, "Man, why don't we start a podcast?" And I was like, maybe I'll do that. So
There
that was
you
my
go.
aha moment.
There you go.
Wait, that'd be cool.
That's
Yeah.
dope. I like that.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I'm a
I
big
did tell
advocate.
Tati. I did tell Tati about this before, but
Mhm.
I didn't really jump on it until like actually coming here. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I love it. See, it all happened for a reason.
Yeah.
I love it. Find your
I was
aha
gonna say
moment.
something, but I'm not. I'm gonna be nice.
What?
So he
Be
was gonna.
nice,
I'm
Tati.
gonna do it. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. He knows I love him. So yeah, he said he wanted to do a podcast with another guy I know in the scene. This other guy in the scene's a DJ. I'm not
Okay.
gonna say his name or anything, but
Okay.
they both were going through very similar experiences. And so I gave them, I was like, yo, if you guys do a podcast, can you name it City Boys Turn Sad Boys?
That's a long ass name, bro.
City Boys Turn Sad Boys. Or just Sad Boys.
Sad Boys,
Sad Boys
yeah.
for life with the Bad Boys theme song. But anyway, yeah, so.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Well, hi. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome. I love your affirmation. So, Samson, give us a little bit of a background about yourself. Obviously, you are in the Chicago nightlife scene. Kind of like just give us a little like Wikipedia of yourself, if you will. If I was to log on right now.
That's good.
So I've been like proactively in the nightlife scene for about like 7 years now.
Nice.
I've always been around the scene as like a promoter back in the day, very lightly. So maybe like 10 years of experience in the nightlife. Other than that, I do a lot of other things that have stemmed from the nightlife, which is
Nice.
awesome. So, you know, I have a boat charter, starting a clothing line. I did have a regular corporate job outside of that, but because nightlife was so great, I kind of steered away from that. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So then you talked about like kind of like your experiences, right? And like the things that you see, the things that you do. And we have a lot of questions here. We made a list earlier today. So we hope that we can dive into that.
yeah, so my transition in in nightlife has
Yes.
gone from like promoter, host, manager. Like I wear a lot of hats. So
You wear a lot of hats.
depending on where I'm at for what club it is or what bar,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of determines on what I'm doing.
That's so interesting. So then, okay, Samson, what does it take, right, to build up an establishment in the city, right? So like, obviously you talked about your trajectory and your career, which is like really cool as far as like being, present in the scene and kind of like working your way, wearing different hats, which I think is really important in pretty much like any career as far as like what you do. I do think it's important to like wear more than just one hat. My hot take on that. But what about the establishment itself? Because you're a part of a couple, right?
Yes, I've been a part of a couple. Right now, primarily, I'm part of one.
Part of one of them.
Yes.
Do you want to shout them out, or are we keeping that on the low?
Let's keep it on the low.
On the low. Okay, we can keep it on the low.
I don't know what questions.
Right. That's you're
fair.
smart, my
Smart man.
Look at this guy's
man.
smart.
That's
But
fair.
also she mentioned I'm kidding. Go ahead. Keep going.
So, like, what does it take to build up that establishment?
So, from my perspective, I think you have to have a great team, right?
Mm.
You can be a great leader. An owner can have a vision, but if you don't have a great team, then it's never going to be executed properly. And that's all the way from the very bottom to the very top. So that's bar back security, hosts, servers, promoters. It all has to mesh well and mingle well together. You have to have a great team.
So how do you build that team?
Right.
It takes a lot of time. One of my biggest mentors in my life, he owns the club that I work at, and he's spent a lot of time and a lot of years in the nightlife, kind of just learning and building the team that he has now. And one of the most successful nights is our Sunday night, and that team is probably the best team in the city of Chicago.
Oh,
That
was an absolute statement right
Yeah.
there.
It is.
I was
it
gonna
is.
say I need to know what place this is
Off camera.
off camera.
I mean, we have the best night running 10 years long for ever now.
My
So-
friend parties a lot, so I'm gonna ask her after this if that's true or not.
Oh, it's a fact. It's a fact.
You might know her. Her
what's
name
her
is
name?
Lily.
Lily.
He
Short
probably
little.
knows like 70.
Right. 70
No,
different
everybody
Lilies.
knows her. She's short little girl, Lily.
Short little girl Lily.
Maybe if you showed me Instagram.
Yeah, we
I
gotta
might-
see a picture.
I'll show you. You're
Yeah,
gonna be
we're
like,
throwing
oh,
names
her.
out now.
Also the reason why I ask how you come up with this team, because I know one of your promoters, like I have him on social media, and I saw he posted like a Google form, like, oh, if you want to work for us or something. And he posted a Google form, and I was like, oh my God, like, what does that look like? Like, oh, I want to be a bottle service girl, or I want to do this. I'm going to fill out a Google form. Then what happens? Like, I want to know, how do you pick your team? Like, what are the steps, literally?
Ooh.
I can tell you my answer, but what their answer would be might be
I want
different.
your answer.
So stuff. I'm giving away secrets. Part of that, come be a bottle girl, come be a server, come be this, is kind of, if it's coming from a promotional aspect, right, not the venue aspect, the promotion teams kind of leverage that. So say Tati or Paulina, you came to interview to be a bottle girl. Of course, we're going to interview
We're on it.
everybody.
We'll be the baddest bottle girls. Hello.
Yes, I'll be the most pregnant one
We're
there.
gonna,
I love it.
We're gonna interview you guys, and we're gonna have those conversations with you, and then there's gonna be like next steps. And next steps is to get you out and kind of see how you perform.
Like an audition.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Like a strip club, right? Kind of. No, I'm serious. They do that, right? Like audition
All
day?
of
Not that extreme.
Oh, okay.
But,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Most of the time, that's kind of like it's like a gimmick, Sometimes it's just to get people out to the club early, so we have an early crowd, and then I'll tell you right now, right when we interview, we know who we're interested in and who we're not. So we
Really?
Yeah.
What do you look for? Like when
Like-
you're there, let's be real.
Are you saying like who's gonna pull people in? Is that what you're saying?
Yes and no. What I would be interested in if I was hiring somebody, and like the venue that I work for is, they have to be sharp. Our bottle girls have to be smart. They have to be very smart, because at the end of the day, again, running a successful venue, they're the front line. They handle our money, So those bottles that are being brought out, those $500,000, $700,000, $800,000 bottles that are being spent, those girls handle that money.
Right.
So they have to be sharp. They have to be competent. They have to have some type of intellect to them to handle that, because if they can't, then we're not making any money, or we'll lose money. So
Good point. I think that's great that you said that, because let's be real, anybody like could assume that's not what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Somebody could assume, I'm looking for the girl with the body yaddy yaddy. I'm looking the girl with the 90,000 Instagram followers.
Don't get me wrong,
because
that
she's
does-
gonna bring people to the club.
that does play a factor. For
How
sure.
how
I feel
much
like
of
it
a how
has
much
to.
of a factor does it play?
And
if you're being real,
Yeah,
sex sells.
of
Yes.
course.
Sex sells, you know.
so how much of
so
a factor?
realistically, most of the people that work in the nightlife industry are some of the most attractive people.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
You know, and
for sure.
if a girl goes up to a guy at a table wanting him to buy more bottles, why is he going to buy more bottles? Because he wants to drink more, or because he wants to impress her? And like most of the time, those have to be some of the more beautiful women out here. And not that everybody's not beautiful. It's just that it's what's appealing to the majority, not specific people. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but
Yeah.
you know.
It sells.
So follow-up question to that. When you're thinking about like the different spaces where you have these events, right? You have different crowds. Like I know for a fact where you are, that Sunday night crowd is very different from like a Saturday night crowd.
Yes.
Okay. So when you interview these bottle service girls or even bartenders or anybody, do you hire them thinking of, okay, you have to be for Sunday night because you wouldn't fit in for Saturday?
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you have a conversation with somebody, you can definitely tell like
Mm-hmm.
how smart they are. Like, are you just pretty, or do you have some brain to you? You know. And there's different positions where you kind of play that. So when you do interview somebody, like it's for a specific reason, never like in general. You know. So there have been girls that we have interviewed that have been like, okay, she's gonna be good for Saturday, or she'll be good for Sunday. She'll be good for our Tuesday. We can use her here, but not here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She's a Tuesday girl, not a
Yeah.
Saturday.
I say that because
You're at
like
Tuesday.
I say that because let's be real, Chicago's super segregated. And so a lot of these promotion companies, right, they're like known for, okay, the demographic of consumers here are African American, are black. So if you throw in, and again, I could sound bad for saying this, but if you throw in nothing but like white girls and Latinas, I'm sure they're going to be like, why do they all look light skinned? Why do they all look like that? Like, why don't we have
I can touch
girls
upon
of
that.
color? Like,
So-
talk to us about that.
So
Good question.
so I have been a part of a night where it is like a black night, you know. So that night we would have majority non-black servers, and there would always be complaints. You know,
Yeah.
Why don't you have a black server? You guys aren't pro-black. You know?
Really?
Yeah, all the time. So then we started hiring black servers, not because we didn't want to or we weren't. It's just that in any interview process, if you go to a company, they want the best of the best. So unfortunately, some other girls were just sharper and smarter than other people. And it's not because they're black. It's just that's what was interviewing. So
Yeah, I've never noticed that.
yeah.
And I'm wondering, do you think, and I don't want to make this all about like just bottle service girls, there's so much, but I'm just thinking like as a woman, like if you're constantly going to different clubs and bars and the bottle service girls all look alike and they don't look like maybe that plays a role in like, oh, this is not a space for me. They're not going to set me in the space because I look different.
Is
I
it?
don't know.
But is it that, or is it you just being a girl? Like,
Insecure?
yeah, being.
That- I don't
looking at
know.
yourself a certain way.
I don't know.
because-
I'm just wondering.
In my personal opinion, I think
Yeah.
all bottle girls are insecure.
You think the bottle girls
No.
Yes.
I was referring to
Oh.
is the girls that are wondering this about the girls, are they just insecure about themselves, and that's why they're pinpointing these girls out?
Oh,
Does that make sense?
it makes sense.
I'm not saying you're insecure. I'm just
Oh, we all know that. But I think just me, for example,
Right.
like I notice like when I go to certain places, I notice like, wow, there's only one black girl here. And like they're all like, and if there are black girls, like majority of the time, they're like some light skinned girls. So
Right.
it's like if I'm thinking it, I'm sure other people are thinking it. Like, where's the diversity here?
100%. Yeah.
Especially because Chicago is so diverse, but we're so segregated. And I feel like we see that segregation amongst nightlife.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I don't notice that a lot. so.
What's like the turnout for like if you do like a call for like cocktail? I don't know if they're called cocktail waitresses, bottle service bartenders, like right?
So I've been a part of like 2 or 3 different like open calls.
Yeah.
And I've had
Everybody.
very different turnouts. So
Oh,
at
okay.
one venue, man, we had like maybe 1,000 people show up.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was literally like there was literally like 10 of us interviewing like almost 1,000 people.
Yeah.
It was from like 10 in the morning to 6 p.m., 8 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
And then there's been another one where we've had about 200 to 400 people show up. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
That is a lot.
Maybe the reason why I don't specifically notice it is because the places that I go to are typically like, it's like Latin night or whatever. So it's like I don't really notice what you notice.
I did run like one of the best Latin nights in the city at one point. So
we shall see. We shall confirm this. But I have a question too. Mine is more like pertaining like security. Because I know you probably deal with everything, right?
Oh yeah.
So me being someone who's me being someone that's bisexual, right? So you could just say gay or whatever, you know. But I typically like in the summer, like I'll dress. I mean, all the time I dress however I want to dress. So I remember one night going to this one night. I'm not gonna say the name of the club either, but I remember I was wearing a crop top, right? I was wearing a crop top.
I hope it wasn't mine.
Some pants and at the door. So I brought a huge crowd, and so at the door, the security didn't want to let me in. He's like, I can't let you in because you're wearing a crop top. So then I'm like, what the fuck? It was a Sunday night, so it wasn't even
Not
like
my club. We're good.
It wasn't even like it was a Friday or Saturday, or maybe like a place that everybody has to go dress up. Like it was a place where it was more casual. And so I remember the security not wanting to let me in. And I was going to make a big deal about it. But then I'm like, you know what? I didn't. And then somebody else made a big deal about it. But I'm like, I mean, you guys just like, there was girls going in with crop tops. You know what I mean? And so like, it wasn't like, I'm like who hires you? You know, like who hires you where like you're doing it right in front of the person where you're letting a specific gender go in that's wearing, and my crop top wasn't even like up here. It was like kind of lower, but they just didn't.
So it wasn't too zesty. I got you.
Yeah, it wasn't like over here. But either way, even if it was over here, it's Chicago summer, so it's kind of like, what the fuck, you know? So do you train your people?
So first off, most of the venues, in my experience, they don't hire each security guard individually. So they hire like a security company. So for the venue that I'm at, we have a head of security, and he has his own company, and he hires his people that way, and that's how that kind of usually works for the most part at venues. But like pertaining to that, that's tough. So dress code is very, very strict for a lot of different reasons. Safety is being one of them. But if like you felt like it kind of sounds like he was profiling you a little bit.
It was, yeah.
That's like I don't know what that would be for. Sometimes security guards do make judgment off of emotion. Not that it's right, but sometimes they do. Then it falls on management to kind of step in or try to rectify that. You know.
Yeah.
So that's hard. That's a hard question.
Yeah, and my thing is like, I don't have this problem because it's like, you know, I don't have that problem, you know. But
I'm the brow bro.
Right.
No, I don't. But the
me.
thing is that it doesn't have to be somebody that people know for them to like let them in like that. You know what I mean? Like it could happen to me, or it could just happen to just anybody else, maybe coming out of town and they want to come to Chicago because they heard the Chicago nightlife is great, you know.
So
and
what I think people also forget about the nightlife a lot is that it's not for everybody. So like,
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Actually? The nightlife, like partying is not for everybody, right? Clubs and bars sell exclusivity, right? When you get bottle service, there's not 40 different sections that everybody can just be at. You know, when you sit at an empty table, they usually ask you to get up because somebody's buying bottle service there, right? So that's the exclusivity. It's not for everybody. So part of the clubs, like part of the outside part of the clubs, also sell like VIP service. If you come up and you want to be treated like a VIP, like you got to pay for the VIP, you know? And not saying that you weren't VIP when they got turned away. It's just that there's people that are coming out all the time, the in crowd. They're just, you know, like I guess the popular promoters or people that know somebody. So you getting turned away may have not necessarily been an attack on you. It may have been like I don't know you, so I'm not going to cater to you.
But that's doesn't sit well with me because that's kind of like part of your night, you know. Something that I always tell everybody when I see like a big ass artist or like good club is that you want those specific two types of crowd. You want the girls and you want the gays. The girls and the gays.
The girls and the gays, honey.
The girls
They
and
run
the
this
gays.
world right now. You know what I mean? And
Who run the world? Gays.
It does.
Yes.
They do. You know what I mean? Like
Facts.
the artists, you know, a good artist, we blow them up. I mean, that kind of sounded crazy, but you know, like we literally, I feel like bring in a crowd, like all of like partnered up the girls and the gays. So to me, it doesn't sit well when there's certain things that are not being tapped in that should be tapped into. You know what I mean?
So I mean, I guess you could handle it if you were like
How did I do the
micromanage.
Chicago thing? No, I'm just kidding.
If you like micromanage everything on the way down, but then at that point, it's just that creates like a whole other issue. There's so many moving parts in a nightclub or in a bar that unfortunately, like paying attention to like those small things like that take away from revenue, take away from the night, take away from
But
everything.
see that I think like to me, being inclusive like that isn't a small thing. That's just part of the micromanaging. To me, would be like, hey, I don't like the napkins right there. You know what I mean? That's way different than I don't want the napkins right there. Then okay, this huge group of demographic of people are getting turned away because of the way they look.
So nightlife is a little different. In nightlife, there's not very much structure. So like there's no right or wrong way to do things. There's not like a script or a book of how you have to run it. You just gotta come up with a way that works until it doesn't work anymore. That's just how it is in nightlife. There's no structure whatsoever. You go to any club, any venue, their process and the way they do things is because it works the best there for them. But when it's not working anymore, then they have to implement other things.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if I'm being transparent or honest, like I feel like there is work to be done, and you know, bouncing off of what you're saying. But I feel like even security or whoever's the door person, right? I mean, it can be even as simple as like letting the hot girls in versus the maybe not hot girls in. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is right and nothing is making sense, right? And none of this is okay. But it would be cool to see, in my opinion, and maybe yours too, to agree with me, to see that kind of like change. Because like I know you're saying it's an exclusive, or what did you call it? It's a exclusivity, like, which I get 100% what you're saying, but I still feel like it should be welcoming to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
We are very welcoming to everybody. There's just certain aspects and certain things within the nightlife that are exclusive.
Fair, and you pay for it, right?
It's not like anybody can't walk up and get in the door. Of course you can. Yeah, you know, you just gotta wait in line. In general, there's usually two lines. There's a general admission, and then there's a table line.
Right.
See, that I get.
No, yeah, that's never gonna change.
But
You know what I mean? You gotta make your money.
Make your money,
You're
honey.
gonna have
Yeah,
your-
and it needs to be exclusive in that sense because like that's the whole experience.
Yeah.
Like we got a table tonight. It's a whole experience.
Yeah. So, but those other things, the way that they handled that situation,
Right.
I probably wouldn't have handled that like that. Looking at you, you look harmless. So,
Aww, Mister is harmless.
you know, so like
Right.
you don't seem like you'd cause a problem or issue.
right.
So that's a
time.
that's a
Let me tell
no-brainer.
you.
You are a
Push it
good
right
time.
You're a
through.
great time.
Right. All the Ubers.
Yeah.
I want to shift gears a little bit really quick, Samson, but I do have a question for you. So I stay on TikTok, probably like all of us here, and sometimes I go in like these little rabbit holes, and I haven't been in the scene of clubbing or like really like bar hopping for like honestly since the pandemic. I'm gonna be very honest.
It's a long time.
Yeah, you said what?
It's a long time.
Yeah, like I'll still like step out, but it's like nothing compared to what it was before. And when I do like go to like a club or like a bar, and I've typically been like I had my spots, you know what I mean? I like my places. But if I do go like today, whatever, tomorrow, like I've noticed like the crowd to me is different. Than what I remember it to be. I'm also 31 years old now, so I know a lot has changed in 3 to 4
By
years.
different, she means they're younger.
No, they're babies.
Not only that though, like nobody dances anymore.
That's where I was going with this.
Nobody dances
On TikTok,
anymore.
We used to do we used to dance.
We used to
Our
have
feet would hurt.
battles.
Yes.
So first off, I'm not gonna lie, I missed the pandemic. The pandemic was amazing.
That was fun. No, not. I mean, that
it was amazing. It was amazing.
it was a vibe. Like
It was great.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Money was flowing. Everything was great then.
Right. I mean, like R.I.P. and I know it was a shitty time for people,
Yeah,
but like
for
it was a
people.
time though.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely changed. It's changed
You
a lot.
agree?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. The direction the nightlife is taking is
How so, if we may ask? We could dive in.
So first off, there's no money out here. So people aren't spending as much as they used to.
Really? I was gonna ask
Yes.
that next. Is it due to like post-COVID life, or is it due to like the current economy? Not that I'm an economist.
I mean,
Economist.
We are in a silent
I'm not a
silent recession.
Right.
So
I'm not a financial advisor, but like I could tell like it's not the same in that sense.
so
right?
there's no in my personal opinion, there's no money out here, obviously, because of the economy. But I think that, like you said, they're young, they're babies, you know. So those that young crowd hasn't come into their money years. Like you're 31,
Yeah.
I'm 31, Tati's
31.
31. So
I'm 24.
I know.
yeah, you're a
not.
baby, bro.
31.
You guys haven't come into your money
Yeah,
years.
he's like 45.
You know.
Are you the oldest?
I'm not.
Yeah, you're 30. You're 32.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are the oldest.
Oh, you are the oldest?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the oldest.
You just turned red. That's crazy.
You're so red.
I don't care.
So like they're not spending money.
They're not
as
spending
much.
money as much.
But Gen Zs are different. They're built different.
I don't know if you remember. I don't remember if you like partying when we were younger. You you drink the cheapest liquor you can before
Yeah.
you go to the
Facts.
club.
Yeah.
You go to the club, get a couple drinks, and you're good all night.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is right now.
And I also think like with TikTok culture, a lot of people are just like chilling at home, making TikToks, getting drunk at home.
I see that a lot. They say
Like
that
just
Gen
throwing
Zs
it at home.
Well, they say Gen Z. I don't want to keep saying Gen Z, but like they keep saying the next generation, whatever. Even ours, millennials, right? Like we would prefer to be like at home than at the bar, which is so interesting because when I was their age, I'd prefer to be out the house.
Yeah.
I wanted to be at
Outside.
the club or
We
at the
outside.
bar. I wanted to be out.
I think times have definitely changed. You know,
That's
like as far as parenting, like our parents were very strict on us. I mean, at least mine were.
Facts, yeah.
Yeah.
Very,
no,
very
like-
strict on us. So like us wanting to be out and away from that was a must.
Maybe,
For
yeah.
them, I see this because I have a little brother. He's 23. He's 22, right around that age.
Yeah.
And my mother babies him.
Oh,
Like,
really?
he gets the world. So like wanting to be at home, why wouldn't I want to be at home? You know, like I get everything I
Right.
want.
Oh,
I don't need anything else.
God, they're so lucky.
Yeah. So,
Samson, I wanted to ask you. No, I wanted to ask you. Do you remember your first time promoting? And what was it? Like,
yeah, for sure. I'll
Can you
never
talk
forget
about
it. He's gonna love this. I used to work for a guy named Mike Famous, and
Oh, I remember
That
that.
sounds
He-
fake.
I don't.
Was it? I don't want to say
It
it on
sounds
the mic.
familiar.
I'll say it on the light.
The plates?
It doesn't even exist anymore. It's
Oh.
Lincoln House, the
Yep.
great,
I wanted to
the
say
greatest.
it.
Oh,
I used to promote a Lincoln House, the
remember that.
greatest
By Clyde?
club to ever exist.
You think
I,
so?
I hands down. I've done things.
I gotta
there
talk about that right
that
now.
you guys,
I've done things there.
that you guys couldn't even imagine. It was the greatest time of my life, honestly.
My
Right, drop it.
my friend, he used to DJ there. He just passed away. I think he used to DJ.
Yeah. Let's not talk
Yeah.
about that. That's very tough. Yeah, that's tough. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you knew him too.
Yeah. I mean, when you're in the industry, you know, you get to meet everybody.
Yeah,
you know a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people. So
I remember that name. I'm like Lincoln House.
Yeah,
Link-
that was
Lincoln
my
House.
spot.
Yes, I was there Fridays. Oh my god, Fridays
was
was
a good
great. Then you
time.
go to Hearts right after. I was
Oh my
definitely.
God, I remember
I was
Hearts too.
Definitely
I never
underage.
went- I
We
never
went to
went.
Hearts after my graduation party, my college graduation party. You were at my college
For all those
graduation
young
party.
I went to
viewers,
the
they're not
hall.
gonna know.
Yeah,
what
you were
this
with
is.
Marcus. You and Marcus came together.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? 30. Yeah.
I
Same,
am
same.
the
He's
oldest.
the youngest.
You're the youngest.
He's the oldest. He's the youngest.
Yeah, like how?
You would think it would be the opposite.
Well, he's also a dad, so that.
That has nothing to do.
You might be
It
a dad too.
does.
You never
No,
know.
My little brother is younger.
I'm talking about like physically.
My little brother is younger, but
Looks older than
he
you?
looks older than me because he has 4 girls.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. That
I
makes
guess it'll do it to you.
Mhm.
Fun.
to some of you.
That's interesting. So that was your first time promoting.
Yes.
And how did you even get into it? I'm assuming a friend, someone kind of just brought you in.
So
How old were you? Also,
I was dating somebody, and her friend was working at the gym I was working out at, and he was just like, "Hey, do you want to come on as a promoter?" And blah blah blah, and just kind of
Oh, cool.
went from that. Yeah, my boy Cadillac. He's
Shout out to your ex for
He's
putting
real
you
one.
on.
What happened to Mike Famous though? I remember him.
He
I don't know
he
who
went
that
he went on
is.
to do other things.
sounds
He actually owns a birria taco spot,
Oh,
Salud Kitchen, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I've heard
Yeah.
of that.
I have.
I don't know if I've been there. But I haven't been there.
Thank
but
me
I've
later,
heard of it.
Mike, for sure. I don't want to hear you complain no more.
I kind of want to switch gears a little bit more, but same topic. I'm curious, since then to now, like, how do you balance relationships and being in the nightlife.
Oh, that's why I love this. Let's do it.
Because let's be real. Like, you're a man in nightlife. You literally just said, like, nobody's monogamous anymore, especially in the nightlife.
Which I hate that you say that.
Yeah, he says it. So can you touch a little bit about that?
I hate it.
You'd be the one to ask that, right?
I love it.
How?
Deep breaths, everybody.
Managing a relationship in the nightlife is almost near impossible. Like, almost near impossible. It's just so hard from both sides, like a female perspective and a male perspective. I only know of one that's ever survived it, and they both literally, this is, you have to survive that. Like, can you imagine?
You made it sound like it was like this challenge,
like a war.
Yeah,
it is.
Like, battle.
Just,
like a
fear factor. He's married, right? You married, right? So imagine him working in the nightlife with a wife. Did you really?
Did you?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You know, like, I have the most beautiful women in the city of Chicago, so everybody thinks, all around me all the time, you know? All the time. So, like, what woman is going to want that around their man?
Yeah.
Nobody. Tati tells me all the time, I could never be with you. All the time.
No.
See?
Because he makes jokes all the time. He makes jokes that, like, I'm the girl of his dreams. Yeah, I said it out loud. Yeah. And I was like, no, never. I could never be with you. Hell no.
It's hard. You can't.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
And for women, like, if you work in the nightlife, there's men that throw thousands and thousands of dollars at you every day. So a man at home, that's intimidating. That doesn't feel right, you know?
But doesn't that have a lot to do with, like, being insecure? 1, 2.
Listen, it doesn't matter how insecure somebody can be or how strong somebody can be. It doesn't matter how much they love that person and trust that person. Not gonna happen.
I agree.
Because what if somebody was to say, like, they think otherwise? They look at it as it's just a job. At the end of the day, it's a job, right? And so, what about that? You know, because I know a lot of people that say it's just a job. This is my job. You know,
so 2 things. I talked about moments of weakness earlier, right? That's exactly what that is. When you have liquor in your system, you don't have you don't have a clear mind. You're not thinking very clearly. So those are moments of weakness sometimes. And for whatever reason somebody's going through something, it just takes that one instance to ruin it all.
Yeah, but also the manager, owner, whatever, cannot drink. If you know, you could own a bar and not drink. And I know a lot of people that do that.
It's hard, dude. It's hard.
You know what I mean?
Right now I'm I'm not sober. I had 1 shot on Sunday or Saturday, one of the two. And since then I haven't drank because I'm trying not to drink. But it is so hard. I can't tell you how many times people come in just based off of, like, a relationship, friendship, love. Like, I'm happy to see you. Come take a shot with me. Come take a shot with me. Come take a shot with me.
Yeah, that part's gotta be hard.
Let me ask you something. If somebody asks you something, if you ask you the same question 2,000 times, how many times are you gonna say no?
2,000 times.
I'm sure.
No, yeah, that's gotta be.
No, hard. I get that, but I'm saying it has more to do with, I think,
the person,
character of the person.
You
know what I mean? And not so much with their job, because then you yourself, and you're just being honest, which I love.
Yeah.
But then you yourself are putting yourself in a box that you probably don't want to be put in.
So you're also speaking from a place of, like, you.
Yeah.
If you were dating Tati and you were like, oh, you can trust me, she's saying all this other stuff. You think that's not in her head? Do you think the doubt is not existent?
Yeah, and I think, before you answer, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't think, like, I'm gonna answer like me, right? I don't consider myself an insecure person. So me, for example, saying, Samson, I could never be with you, it's not because I'm insecure. It's not because I'm insecure. It's for the reason that, like, I just don't want to be with somebody who, like, that's around them 24/7. That's this a personal thing. Not that I'm insecure. That's just not a lifestyle that I want in a partner.
Keyword 2, lifestyle. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but lifestyle. Yeah. Like, being in the nightlife scene requires a different lifestyle.
Absolutely.
You don't come home till 5 a.m. when Tati's getting up for work. I'm making this up. You know what I mean? So it's
I live this. Okay, I'll be honest. I lost a relationship being in the life.
Really?
I did.
There it goes.
I did.
How long of a relationship was this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't want to say.
I was with somebody for 6 years.
Wow.
And she was with me for like the whole growth of it, and it definitely, the being in the nightlife was not, it didn't help, because you got to also understand, like, my job is to be out there during the times that you want to be with somebody else, you know. So when you're kicked up with your loved one on Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, where am I? I'm working.
Yep.
You know, it's hard. It's
Maybe
very
it's just
hard.
me being like a little hopeless romantic, right? But
I mean,
Because there is one,
Yeah.
right? It's rare. Like you mentioned, a couple. There's a rare like breed of man or woman that is in this like strong, like, you know, committed relationship that goes home to their partner and it works for them. But I think the pool is small.
Very small.
Very small.
Very small.
yeah, because I feel like if I was to see like my person or whatever, and I knew their character, but I knew that despite of the circumstances, like I would believe in that person because it's just a job, you know.
I mean, I understand that, but I think a big part of being in the industry, and Samson, you could correct me if I'm wrong, you have to come off as available. Your social media, this kind of goes into your social media. Like, that's how you make your money. Like, you need to come off as available. So if you're a bottle service girl, bartender, if you're like posting your partner, if you're posting your partner the whole time, then people are going to be like, oh, okay.
I'm laughing because I told her this.
But
not her.
Wait, can I ask? Sorry, really quick.
Yeah.
Are there bottle service girls that are pretending to be single when they're not? Is that why you're laughing?
No, I mean, yeah, that too, but 100%.
Yeah. See, they put
But
the game.
I'm laughing because like I literally told my ex that. I told my ex that I need to, like, nobody wants to party with a man that's taken. If I
said that.
I did. I've definitely said
that's
that.
why I said I'll never be with him.
If you go, but I mean, it's real. It is
I'm
realistic.
sorry.
It is
I know.
realistic.
Okay.
If I go up to
Same
a group of girls and I'm like, hey, come out with me Friday night, and they know that I'm a committed man to
We're going to talk shit about you.
They're gonna talk shit, or they're not.
Like,
they're
he
not
got a
gonna,
whole ass
they're not gonna
girlfriend, why is he inviting us?
entertain me. They're not gonna.
Yeah.
Why would I go out with somebody that has a man? Shouldn't you be at home with your girl? You know.
But also, you could spin that. I'll tell you how.
Tell
you could
us.
spin it like
Tell
this,
I can't wait.
like a DJ. No, you could spin it like this, where you know a lot of artists that they have to come across like they're available artists, right?
That's a different level, bro. That's a different level.
But I'm saying like I'm saying.
Trust me, those do not apply. Those are different
I
levels.
feel like you could connect. A lot of people would say like, "Oh, I have to come across." They don't even post on their social media they're with somebody until they're really with somebody. But
there's one big difference. They make like millions of dollars, so that doesn't matter.
I don't know. I think it's the same
Interesting.
It doesn't matter.
What I'm curious, Marco, since you said you were in this industry like back in the day, what was your experience like when you were dating or?
I think it's true. There's very, very few people who can handle being in a relationship and working in the industry of even restaurants and nightlife. Like, it's a completely different game.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was a little different because I worked with my wife. So like we worked in the same place. And,
I told you I only know one.
And and it was also a different dynamic because I was the owner. So it was a little bit different.
Dang,
Helen
she
was
was
the
messing
owner.
with the owner. I love Lucy.
So it wasn't as if these people who were like, whoever would go in and try to impress her, like, all right, bro, like I'm getting that money anyway. So
Period.
you can throw all the thousands of dollars you want. It's coming to me. So
I like this guy.
Yeah, but he's 100% correct. I mean, there's always vices.
Yeah.
I also never drink. Even to this day, I don't drink. Like at Christmas parties with my team members and my different like companies, I never drink. That's just a rule I have of like not drinking with team members. And it's difficult because people come out and they want to drink with you and want to do everything else. The way that I would play it off is I would just give them an expensive shot or give them whoever they're with like 2 expensive shots or pawn it off to like a bus person or like a server or something. Because I just didn't want to cross that line. Because once you get under the influence, then things become more difficult to say no to. So
Moments
that's
of
how I do it.
weakness.
Yeah, and alcohol and weed make you weak, unfortunately.
No, yeah, I mean, like, I kind of side with Nestor on this, too, because I want to be the hopeless romantic. Like, I do radio for a living, not remotely the same at all, but I see how things change when you come off as like the single party girl versus the committed relationship girl, and like that's changed not like my money, but it's changed like just I guess my persona, right? It's changed like the brand of who I am.
So your branding.
The branding. So it's very interesting that like, yeah, if like a bottle girl shows up like with a wedding ring on, it'd be something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it could definitely change that up. But I also get really sad that you say that, you know, people who work in nightlife or restaurants, you know, have a harder time. We'll just say a harder, more difficult time being in relationships if that's what they want to be in. You know what I mean? If they want to be with somebody. Like, that makes me sad.
Also, this last question before we leave.
Yo,
I can't wait.
Okay, so me being sober right now, I thought about this question. So it's not just for you, but it's for everyone. Maybe you could just start it and then we can all answer it.
Okay.
But the question is, are you more than your social life? And who are you without being in the scene?
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Like in the nightlife scene.
Oh.
Are you more than your social life? Because basically we're all social. We all have to deal with that. And so are you more than your social life? And who are you specifically?
Outside of social media.
Outside of your scene, like the party
outside.
scene.
Like the party scene.
The nightlife scene.
Ooh, who are you?
That's a good question.
I look.
Because your identity is not, I'm not saying attached to it, but your identity is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm two different people.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, I was one. I didn't differentiate the two. It's kind of called getting lost in the sauce, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But now I realize that who I really am is definitely not what I put out to be, which is also why I'm trying to reorg my Instagram. It's a whole new rebranding.
Oh, there you go.
Because social media runs the world. So if you can control social media, you can do anything, you know. Literally, that's what it is. So who I am in the nightlife is definitely not who I am like behind closed doors or outside of the nightlife. If somebody ever gets that like privilege to learn that person, then they'll probably see a better person than when I am in the nightlife. Because the nightlife is it's an image. It's very it's hard, you know. It's not the greatest look sometimes. It's you want to show off. You want to show that you got it like that, or you want to have the
more materialistic.
Yes, more materialistic.
A little more
stuff.
vain.
Yes, very,
Interesting.
very. You know, that's just what it is. Because if I'm with a million tatis, a million other Edgars want to come by because I'm with a million other tatis.
Mm-hmm.
If they see that I have thousands of bottles every day, they want to come out. The girls want to come out because they want free liquor, or they want to post. They want to be. That's what it's become. No more dancing. They're posting.
Posting.
Post, right? Yeah.
What about you, Paulina?
That is interesting because I think in the beginning of the podcast, I mentioned that whatever, like my social life and just like that was a way of me really connecting with people. Like I feel like you know, like yeah, I would drink and have a good time and stuff, but I just met so many really cool people, if that makes sense. Like I loved my experience in the nightlife. I didn't work in the nightlife, but just like being out, right, and being like active and meeting people and having a good time. Like that to me was such a fun era, and I loved every second of it. And I think like once I took myself out of it, I had an identity problem. I was just like, oh damn, like you know, like if I'm not out, whatever, on Friday and Saturday nights, like am I lame now? You know what I mean? I was just like, damn, the pandemic hit, so there was really nothing to do. You couldn't go to the club or the bar, so everybody was drinking at home and having these like little secret parties when they weren't supposed to be hanging out together, but we were, you know. And I just feel like for me, it took me a minute to kind of like differentiate like that and take me out of that part, you know, and then like getting into a relationship and stuff, and it's just like I had to like let myself know it was okay to like go out, you know what I mean, like still with my friends. Obviously I can't drink right now, I'm pregnant, but like drinking, you know, stuff like that, it's like that was still like okay. Like just because I'm in a committed relationship now, like that doesn't mean that I'm like fucking dead or something, you know. I was just like I just had like an issue with it at first. I was just like, damn, I'm, you know, am I still fun? But no, I'm fun.
You're
I'm
fun.
Cool. I'm cool.
You're a different kind of fun.
Yeah, no, facts.
Yeah. You want me to go? I'll go. So I feel like for me, like night-wise, like going out, I think I've always been just the person you could put me anywhere and I'm gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be in VIP to have a good time. I'm a dance my ass. Like I'm the girl, I'm a dance, but I'm also a poster. Like I'm a post and dance at the same time. Yeah. But I've always been like that, so I feel like.
Have you guys ever been out with Tati?
Yeah, like a long time ago. A long time ago.
What does that mean?
What? Is it bad?
Oh no, it's a great time.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No.
So I think that's something about me. Like I
Yeah.
could have a good time no matter where I'm at, and I like to spread that energy with people. Outside of the nightlife, I think I'm similar to that, but I'm way more like in my head, and like I'm such an overthinker and an over planner,
Yep.
and I like things my way, where I could be kind of type A that you wouldn't see out in those settings. And then also like outside of social media or like who I am, I feel like I wear many hats in my life in general. So I feel like you take away social media, I could still be everything I am. It's just social media just gets like the exclusive silly side of me. But then you'll see me posting about like a 10-page paper I got to do. And then I'll come on the podcast. So I feel like social media is just a lens into a little glimpse of my life of some of the hats I wear. But like, I think I wear so many hats that my social media is not just one version of me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just dabble in a lot of things.
You do dabble. I love it. Nestor, wrap us up.
Yeah, for me, I'm just I'm readjusting to like not being the person that has to like hype everybody up. Like this past weekend, I went out and I've been sober for a month, and people were just telling me like, "What's the next spot? What's the next spot?" And I just felt like not drinking. I felt so drained by everybody. It was like 8 of us, and I'm like,
Really?
I'm just, like
energy. Energy is everything.
Yeah, I'm like that's the key thing.
That's
That's the key word, like energy. Like I realized that my energy and everyone's energy is so valuable, and so I think for me, I'm readjusting to knowing like who am I without it, and then if I go out, like I want to be like Tati. No, I want to be like Tati and not have to drink. Like I remember that I used to go out and just dance.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and actually a week ago we went to a Cubby Bear for
Salsa night?
for
You went
social.
on a Sunday?
Yeah, for social dancing. And I feel like it was like, you know, predominantly all older people. But to me, that felt good. And I felt like I'm in this age bracket now. And so like, and so I'm like,
The third floor.
it's okay. Like, it's
I call it
okay.
the peaceful era. You come
But
into
I-
your peace.
I have a lot of people that like, that still want me to be that person. And a lot of them are younger. I'm like, dude, that was 10 years ago. Like, that's not who I am anymore. And so,
Elevate.
yeah, I'm just readjusting because I'm asking myself this question. That's why I asked that question, because I'm like, who am I without like going out, you know? And so ask yourself that question, whoever's watching.
Oh,
That is a
who
good
are
question.
you? Take away social media.
Yes.
Who are you?
So thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you especially to Samson for being here with us today.
Yes,
for being
keeping it
Pleasure.
real,
Yes,
spilling
yeah.
the tea.
all the tea, for being super vulnerable, transparent, and you know, just very authentically yourself. So thank you for that.
Hey, you securities,
appreciate
be
it.
nice. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, not the security.
Season 3.
Season 3, we outside. We're all gonna drop our handles really quick. So I'm Paulina Rowe,
Nate Sampson.
Talk with Tati.
The bra, bro.
the bra bro. That's right. And you can follow us at Never Too Shy Pod on Instagram. I'm gonna get it one day. Follow us, message us, let us know what's up, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. I think
Bye.
that camera just died.
That's what I was trying to